What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into the Local Crown podcast, where we're going to teach you how to wage war on your competition and earn your local crown, also known as the top spot on Google. You talked about having to speak the language of finance in business. What are some of the important things that you didn't really know, like what those were, that we should go figure out and what that means as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one because every industry is different depending on what you want to do, right? So for me, one of the things I like to do with my kids, my students, right, is towards the end of the year, towards the end of the semester, after I teach seniors. So you got to understand, after spring break, senioritis kicks in and they don't really want to do anything in class anyways. Then they're thinking about prom, thinking about grad night, like nothing else is very important. So the way I design my class is at the end of the year, the last few weeks of the year, we play Kiyosaki's Cash Flow 101 board game, right? So it's basically you being able to understand how a cash flow statement works, understand what it means to actually get out of the rat race where your money works for you and you no longer have to work for your money. And it helps them identify what an opportunity would look like from a cash flow point of view. And so my thought was pretty simple, is if I can get you to understand your own basic overview of how to generate an extra revenue, if I can show you how to read your own income statement so that you can set your own budget up, then at the very least, I've set you up to be a successful individual. Now, after that, it's going to be up to you whether you take it to the next level, and where you take that next level to is completely up to you. You can go into the insurance industry and we can start talking about, like SR22s and liabilities and deductibles and all that stuff. Or maybe you can go into the real estate space and we can start talking about title and escrow and appraisals and all that stuff. Or you can go into, a number of different taxes, right? And we can start talking about, the 1040 and Schedule A, B, C, and E, and, all whatever it's going to be. So, the language is going to be different based on where you want to go. Yeah. But I think having a core financial understanding of your own budget, your own cash flow statement, and understanding the difference between being able to save a certain amount of money, having a nice little nest egg, a just in case fund, and then what you're doing with the rest of it, and having a plan to move forward, then at least you have yourself in a good position and you can decide wherever else you want to go.
Definitely. That's huge. And I never even had any kind of basic financial plan when I first started my business, and I was struggling all the time. It wasn't until I actually started setting up a budget and doing those things that I was able to start growing and scaling it all. So that's really valuable information.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. It's about learning, right? That's the value of picking up a book, or like I do it now, an audio book. It's just taking that time to learn something different. Somebody else has already gone through and stepped in a hole. If you learn from them, that makes you a genius. Smart people learn from their experiences. Geniuses learn from the experiences of others. So, that's called wisdom, right? That's the whole beauty of it. We didn't want to listen to our mom and dad when they said, don't drive cars real fast. Well, then you drove a car real fast and you got an accident. Well, then you know what? Mom and dad were right. But it's not that they were right because they were telling you. They were right because they did it too, right? And so we're just trying to avoid making the same mistakes that we did. And our parents, every parent is going to tell their kid what they shouldn't do out of their own experience. And every kid's going to decide whether they're going to take it in and realize that that's a pearl of wisdom, or they're going to look at it as a rebellious point of view and they're going to have to go experience itself, right? So if it's the same way from a kid, it's just going to be the same way in adulthood with your personal finances. You're either going to learn and not make the same mistakes that other people did and learn from their mistakes and grow from there, or you're going to try to figure it out yourself and you're going to make mistakes and you're going to fix it and adjust and you're going to go from there too. It's just completely up to, our own, the way we're wired and what we decide to take in as a fact and what we decide to take in as, that won't happen to me.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, email us at info@thelocalcrown.com. And if you want to get featured in our publication, Inside the Empire, alongside John Lee Dumas, the entrepreneur on fire, Jayson Waller, the CEO of Power Home Solar, Sharon Lechter, Dan Caldwell, the man that started Tap Out, and the limitless man himself, Jim Kwik, for free, then head over to thelocalcrown.com/become a contributor.